Have you ever thought if you're masturbating wrong? Almost all men do it, but not many women think about it. Do they ever think about whether they're doing it right? The truth is, many older men unknowingly develop bad habits that could be negatively impacting their sexual health sensitivity and even their ability to perform when it matters most. The good news, these mistakes are completely fixable. In today's video, we're uncovering the biggest mistakes older men make when masturbating, mistakes that could be dulling your pleasure, harming your erections, and even leading to long-term issues, from poor technique to common myths that men have believed for decades. We're breaking it all down, and trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because we're also revealing expert-backed strategies to enhance your solo sessions, boost your overall sexual health, and even improve your performance in the bedroom. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below, leave a 0 if it doesn't work for you. Your opinion is very important to me because it helps me make better videos that fit your interests. Allow us to begin. Let's take a moment to think about something that causes deep emotional sparks and ESS debates and is very important to a lot of guys. Size of penis. It's no secret that this one physical trait gives many guys a deep sense of self-worth. But here's what's really interesting. For men, how they see their own size doesn't always match up with reality. Instead, it's shaped by years of unrealistic comparisons and internalized pressure to measure up, both literally and figuratively. A groundbreaking study asked over 50,000 men and women about their level of satisfaction with penis SI. It opened the eyes of almost half of the men who saw the findings. 46% said they were unhappy with their size and harbored feelings of inadequacy or wished they were bigger. This shocking and sad number shows just how many people feel this way. How deeply fear can set in a man's mind, but now things really start to surprise you. Only 15% of women said they were unhappy with the size of their partner's penis. That means that most women don't think this is a problem, but a lot of men still feel bad about it. The big difference between how men and women think about intimacy and satisfaction is that women tend to focus on things that have nothing to do with size, like emotional connection, touch, communication, and the overall experience of being with their partner. But even though this gives men comfort, the internal struggle still exists. Nearly half of men who think they are average in size still wish they were bigger, which is an almost heartbreaking revelation. 14% of men who are actually bigger than average still want more. This shows how deeply insecure men are, even when they have no good reason to feel bad about themselves. Now let's look at the women in the study. When asked what they wanted, only 14% said they wanted their partner to have a bigger penis. This number should be enough to dispel the myth that size is the most important factor in happiness, but people still believe it because of decades of false information and unrealistic portrayals in the media. So where does this insecurity come from? The answer is clear. Unrealistic comparisons, especially those drawn from pornography. The adult film industry has carefully created a fantasy world in which male actors are chosen based on extreme physiques, including exaggerated penis sizes. These portrayals create an unattainable standard that the average man cannot possibly live up to. The result is a widespread epidemic of self-doubt among men who believe they are inadequate, not because they are inadequate, but because they have been taught to feel that way. But let's take a moment to think about the deeper truth. Feeling truly happy. It's not about numbers or measurements to have a deep relationship and a fulfilling intimacy. Confidence, trust, vulnerability, and being able to talk freely with your partner are the most effective ways to create pleasure and emotional closeness. Real intimacy isn't about what's between your legs, it's about what's in your heart and mind and how you make your partner feel. If you've ever struggled with these insecurities, know that you're not alone. It's time to stop focusing on unrealistic expectations and start embracing a healthier, more fulfilling view of sexuality. That's why I wrote Rediscovering Intimacy. Being Sexually Healthy After Age 60, a digital guide to help you find your way through the tricky parts of getting close to someone as you age and accepting yourself. You'll find useful tips, expert advice, and doable strategies in this book to help you get rid of harmful beliefs and start living a confident, fulfilling, and deeply satisfying sex life. You'll learn how to change your mindset, communicate better with your partner, and find the pleasure of closeness again in ways that really matter. So let go of the self-doubt, let go of the false similarities, and start a new journey of happiness and self-confidence, because you are more than enough just the way you are. In this digital book, you'll find useful tips for making your relationship stronger. Deal with both physical and mental problems and use tried and true methods to bring back connection and fire in your love life, no matter what your problems are, now or in the past. This book will help you gain confidence, deepen closeness, and find more fulfillment in your relationships. If you are still watching this video and think these lessons are helpful, please leave a comment below letting me know you are still watching it. Think about this situation for a moment. It could make you see things differently. Imagine yourself on a professional basketball court surrounded by athletes who are all over 2.1 meters or 7 feet tall. No matter how tall you are in real life, you would feel incredibly short in that setting. It wouldn't matter if you were actually average or even above average height. Your surroundings would completely change your perception of your height. But as soon as you step off the court and onto a busy street, you blend in. You realize that most people around you are a much more reasonable height, and the feeling of being too small goes away. When guys compare themselves to adult film actors, this is what happens. Extreme physical traits, and size is one of the main ones used to choose performers in the adult entertainment business. Even though these stars don't really look like the average man, their popularity in the media gives people a strong, false impression of what is normal. This unfair comparison causes men to doubt their own abilities, which makes them feel bad about themselves, even though they are actually doing fine. But let's go even further. There's an important anatomical fact that most people miss when they compare and contrast, and it might change the way you think about this whole problem. The first few centimeters of the vagina, close to the clitoris, have the most sensitivity and pleasure. This is because most of the nerve ends are crowded together there, making it the main source of stimulation and pleasure for most women. On the other hand, the inner 2/3 of the vaginal canal are much more sensitive, more like how our intestines and other internal systems feel. This means that after a certain point, size doesn't really make a difference in how much pleasure you get. So why do so many men keep worrying about something that doesn't have nearly as much of an effect as they think it does? The answer lies in our mindset, how we see ourselves, and the societal pressures that have been ingrained in us for decades. That's why I wrote Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60, to help men break free from these limiting beliefs and embrace a more fulfilling, confident, and satisfying sex life inside. This book will give you useful tips on how to change your outlook, improve your relationships, and explore intimacy in a way that is both physically and emotionally satisfying. It's time to let go of the fears that have been holding you back and start a new chapter of happiness and self-confidence. Get your copy now by going to the first pinned message. Confidence, connection, and passion can happen at any age. This brings us to a very important realization. Pleasure and satisfaction in intimacy are not directly linked to penis size. Instead, They are deeply linked to emotional bonding, proper stimulation, and how partners engage with and respond to each other. True intimacy is not about measurements. It's about being able to create desire, build trust, and explore each other's bodies with care and attention. Also, let's not forget the amazing adaptability of the vagina. It's a highly flexible organ designed to accommodate different sizes with ease, naturally adjusting to a partner over time. This means that the focus on size is usually just an illusion, fueled by comparison and false information. The number on the tape measure doesn't really matter. What matters is the rhythm, understanding and emotional link between both partners. To put this into perspective, let's ask a thought-provoking question. If penis size were the most important factor in pleasure, how would we explain the happiness and satisfaction people feel in lesbian relationships? Many studies have shown that lesbian couples are sexually satisfied even though they don't have a penis. This alone busts the myth that size matters when it comes to pleasure. What really makes a relationship stronger is emotional connection, affection, listening to and respecting a partner's needs, and most importantly, honest and open communication. When partners talk about their wants, needs, and preferences, everything can be changed to make both people feel comfortable, valued, and deeply satisfied. It's not size that makes people happy, it's the ability to listen, learn, and respond to a partner's needs with care and sensitivity. Now let's talk about another topic that often causes confusion: how big the average penis has been over the years. Several scientific real measurements, not self-reported guesses, have been used in studies to look into this. A very thorough study looked at over 15,000 men and measured the size of their penis in 3 different positions: flared, stretched, and erect. What did they find? The average length of an erect penis around the world is 13.12 centimeters, or 5.16 inches. Some studies show a slightly higher average of around 14 centimeters, 5.5 inches, but there aren't many differences when it comes to girth, which is about 11.7 centimeters, 4.6 inches. What's even more shocking is that only 0.5% of men, or 1 in 200, have an erect length greater than 17.4 centimeters, 5 inches, or a girth bigger than 14.5 centimeters, 5.7 inches. These numbers show that the unrealistic portrayals in adult pictures and the standards guys set for themselves are not at all like the norm. The truth is that most people think bigger is better is not only misleading, but also damaging. It creates unnecessary insecurities, causes men to doubt their adequacy, and shifts the focus away from what truly makes intimate, fulfilling confidence, emotional connection, and a willingness to explore pleasure in ways that genuinely matter at the end of the day. Masculinity, desirability, and satisfaction are not defined by numbers. They are defined by self-assurance, emotional depth, and the ability to create intimacy that is based on trust, communication, and genuine connection. So if you've ever struggled with insecurities about size, it's time to let go of those doubts and embrace the reality you are enough exactly as you are. The true foundation of a fulfilling, intimate life isn't found in numbers, measurements, or comparisons. It's built on the quality of the relationship itself. When both partners feel valued, respected, and connected, satisfaction follows naturally. Yet for many men, self-perception and confidence are often clouded by unnecessary worries about size. Let's look at an easy, everyday event that most men have been through. When you get out of a warm shower on a cold day and look down, your penis looks smaller than normal. It's only for a moment, but it makes you think, why does this happen? The answer lies in a structure called the dartus muscle, which surrounds the penis and contracts in response to cold, stress, or even anxiety, pulling the organ closer to the body to protect it. This is a completely natural and automatic response, but for some men it's more noticeable than others, making their flax penis look noticeably smaller. But here's the important thing. When the man is erect, these differences almost completely disappear. The difference in flax penis size has no effect on function, partner satisfaction, or function. Despite this, many men are deeply self-conscious about how they look in a locker room, a shared shower, or even in front of a partner. This anxiety can turn into a mental struggle called small penis syndrome or penis anxiety, a persistent feeling of insecurity caused by unwarranted comparisons and unrealistic cultural expectations. It's both interesting and disappointing how something so common and short-lived can have such a big effect on self-esteem. A quick look in the mirror, a casual comment, or a comparison in the changing room can plant the seeds of insecurity that last a lifetime. But here's the truth. Most of the time, this fear is based on perception rather than reality. Understanding how the body works, recognizing normal anatomical differences, and shifting your body can help you deal with this. Practicing true self-acceptance can help get rid of these worries and boost your confidence in everyday life. However, there's a more serious mental illness that goes beyond simple insecurity that needs attention. Penile dysmorphia. Body dysmorphic disorder, BDD, is a mental illness in which a person develops an obsessive and distorted view of a certain part of their body. To give you an idea of what this is like, think about young people who are dangerously thin but think they are overweight. This distorted self-image can drive them to extreme behaviors like eating disorders, like anorexia or bulimia. In the case of men with penile dysmorphia, the struggle is eerily similar. Even though their penis size is perfectly normal, they become fixated on the idea that they are far below expectations. No matter how much reassurance they receive, their belief stays the same, which makes them withdraw from intimacy. Avoid dating and social settings like swimming gym locker rooms and dates with other people. Constantly worrying about their size becomes a mental prison that keeps them from enjoying and fulfilling things that should come naturally. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please leave a second comment below to let me know you are still watching it with me. This disorder has a big effect and shouldn't be ignored as just insecurity. It has an effect on mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. That's why it's so important to break free from these negative thought patterns. Understanding, acceptance, and self-worth are at the heart of true confidence. When men stop focusing on comparisons and start focusing on connection, communication, and their own health, they find a much greater source of happiness than size alone could ever offer. The saddest thing about this whole situation is that a false belief about something that only lives in the mind can trap a man in a painful cycle of loneliness, insecurity, and low self-esteem. May truly think that there is something very wrong with him, that he is not good enough, that he doesn't match up, when in fact everything is perfectly normal. This is a strong reminder that our perceptions are not always accurate. We can tell ourselves we have flaws when we don't, make our insecurities worse when they aren't, and let pointless worries affect our self-worth. But the good news is that we can change these perceptions by learning more about ourselves, our bodies, and even asking for help when we need it. This can restore our confidence, our relationships, and our overall quality of life. Last thoughts. We've talked about how penis size perceptions can have a big effect on self-esteem, intimacy, and mental health. We've looked at scientific studies that show the actual average sizes, debunked unrealistic comparisons, and emphasized what really matters: emotional connection, open communication, and mutual pleasure. Now I want to know which part of this conversation hit home for you the most: the surprising reality of global average sizes, or the realization of how damaging comparisons can be to self-confidence. Tell us what you think in the box below. I read all of them, and if you liked what you read, please show your support by giving this movie a like. This easy action helps us reach more people, break down taboos, and keep sharing good information that really does make a difference. But don't stop here. Our channel is full of professional and thought-provoking videos about penis, health, blood flow, erectile dysfunction, oral sex, and many other important topics related to sexual health and well-being. This video is just the beginning of your journey towards more information, confidence, and happiness. Click on one of the suggested movies to keep learning how to point your backhand right. Check out more videos and take charge of your sexual health today. We've broken down a lot of myths and hidden mistakes and shown you what really matters when it comes to your sexual health and confidence. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you learned from this video that you'll use in real life? Leave a comment below and let me know. I read all of them. And if this movie helped you, don't forget to hit the like button to show your support. Please share this video with someone who might need it. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel for more expert tips on intimacy, health, and well-being. Your support helps us keep making videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.